Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Gas, checking in on the electric vehicles. Electric vehicle and NEE. I guess now that I'm covering plug, probably swapped it. Okay, so last we left off with our big dog Tesla. We were watching this range, potentially making a play off of this range. And the way that we had this zone drawn off is just we were looking for hourly oversold conditions into our range of support, right? Our marked off levels, this sideways rangy business. The green bar. Okay, and the green bar is just marked off based on all of these pivots here. So the top of the bar, I believe, was drawn with these lows in mind. And then the bottom of the bar was its previous high. Okay, so we're just really looking for any kind of area where there has proven to be a base of support, and you don't really want to think of it as like a static level, right? You can see it's not static. It breaks it many times. It's much more akin to a membrane. Resistance and support is much more akin to a membrane, just like here, right? We pierced the membrane, but there was not enough pizzazz, gusto to stay above, and so they got rejected. Then we came back, tested the membrane again, tested the membrane again, tested the membrane again, rejected, but at different levels. It's not just one point where it just constantly rejects from. So now we are testing those upper ranges again right now at 464 on news that Tesla will be added to the S&P 500 on December 21st. 1221, I think it's December 21st at least. Well, I mean, you know, someday. It's confirmed that they will be added, that Tesla will be added to the S&P. Okay. So this trade obviously is playing out pretty well now. Target is hit in after hours. So ideally people have flexibility. If you took this trade, ideally you have flexibility now. Obviously that was the low. So ideally you took some profit before the weekend, and now you're just sitting pretty, right? Now management for your position is very easy. You can take some profit in extended hours, put the stop for the rest down here, put your stop for the rest on the daily low. It doesn't really matter at this point. So hopefully some of you guys out there caught that trade. And it was just that little tap, that little hourly oversold tap into our zone of interest. So we cared about. Alrighty, was that a good? Yeah, exactly, right? So that we laid it out the night before. Just want to make sure we start our initiations when it taps that hourly oversold, which obviously was a decent entry this time around. You know, that being said, you know, who knows, right? We're not over the major resistance yet, right? We're not over the major resistance, all-time high resistance of 502.49, and to break these inside bars bullish, we have to get over 465.90, which I believe actually did happen in after hours. Yes, it did. It did happen in after hours. So we have the potential now to make a pretty serious move. If we're going to open up above, I wouldn't be surprised by some initial consolidation, but bulls are positioned very well now on this EQ, and we've been positioned well on the EQ, right? Typically, when you have an EQ, you anticipate the lows to get tested again, right? So from here, we would have anticipated this. But instead, we got a higher low, much higher, made an attempt to break it, got rejected, came back, and again, did not really come terribly close to the lows of our EQ. So I think I mentioned way back here that it was starting to look a bit more bullish on the EQ, and then we got a little fake out, but back to looking bullish, obviously. So let's see, trades in the interim. You'll want to be careful with any shorts, of course, but aggressive bears can be top fishing. Let's see. But aggressive bears can be top fishing. The all-time high resistance of 538.75. Let me see if there are any other levels here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we open up above this high 465.50, the mid 465s, then we'll clear these EQ resistances and only have that all-time high resistance at play. So any pullback on this move, we will just be anticipating a healthy hourly higher low. Bulls have ample space to do so. We ideally will want to do so in 5-minute oversold conditions. So as of right now, where they are is quite a ways away, but obviously that'll change. That'll change with RSI cooling down. So let's see, maybe we can mark off some significant levels here. Let's see, turn off the hours to clean it up a bit. Fast up. All right, so maybe that is an interesting place. Okay, I'm just digging out some pivots that seem to be meaningful. All right, so we got this pivot here, rejected, try to get above, rejected. And obviously there's a lot of congestion here. So really all I care about at this point is because I know there's a reasonable amount of congestion in this area, maybe we can look for some more meaningful pivots. Okay. Maybe just this high. All right, so got some meaningful pivots, some meaningful local pivots. Left a bit, like that. All right, so now the next thing we want to see is 5-minute oversold conditions, which would be rather far away. It'd be down here as of right now, but if we were to, oops, I got my lines confused. I don't need this one. All right, so if we can get 5-minute oversold into this area here, in my opinion, not a bad place to be looking for that potential hourly higher low. Of course, this setup will change drastically based on the open. So again, tomorrow, if you're looking for that hourly higher low play, which there will be a lot of bulls looking to do so, in my opinion, just want to be scouting that play in 5-minute oversold conditions. Even if you miss it, if it doesn't get 5-minute oversold and it bounces, that's fine. Honestly, it's not, trading is not about getting every trade. I'm telling you, it's just getting the trades exactly as you want them. That's when they'll work the best, right? Okie dokie. So on any pullback, looking for that hourly higher low. Bears top fishing all-time high resistance. On any pullback on the daily time frame, we will also be scouting that daily higher low whenever we start consolidating. Assuming that we open up here, assuming that the bulls are able to maintain at least some of their strength, I have a hard time seeing how they, it would be big red flag if they gave it all back. But whenever we pull back for daily consolidation, we will be looking for a daily higher low over 401.66. Okay, so NIO today. All right, so that trade shared played out pretty well. This trade, this trade, or was this just my trade? I forget. Either way, if this was a trade I shared on the 12th, 13th, great. Let's wait a minute. No, I didn't share any trade. This is just my trade. Okay, so just my zone of interest, just marked off this previous congestion area. And again, you want to be doing your buying in 5-minute oversold conditions. And both of these times, both of these cases, I should say, the 5-minute was getting oversold once we started scaling. Okay, there. First scale, 5-minute oversold. Okay. So anyway, that is that trade. Offering you plenty of room for profit taking. So, oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't a trade. Okay, so on the daily time frame, bears are scouting a lower high under 54.20 resistance, all-time high resistance for NEO. On the hourly time frame, so really the hourly trend changes only come if you consider extended hours trading as well. Well, that's not true, actually. We did break by a little bit even with that. Okay, so hourly trend change definitely confirmed that daily higher low is likely set here at 40.55, but we're scouting for that lower high under 54.20 and would not be surprised to just see some daily chop. Now, this is a ton of range, 25% range, so would not be surprised if we just bounced around a bit between these two key supports and resistances. So bears will be top fishing all-time high, though if we start to see some sympathy moves tomorrow in NEO, just a little bit of caution, right? Whenever you have fundamental news happening, you just want to be a little bit cautious, right? So let's consider the fundamental news. The fundamental news is Tesla has been added to the S&P 500. What are the implications that market operators might think? Okay, well, EV is getting really big. If Tesla's going to make it to the S&P, who knows what NEO can do, right? So just be cautious, right? We might see some euphoria, might see some sympathy, euphoria tomorrow. And if that's the case, you'll want to be cautious on any of these short attempts. But hourly overbought conditions up against all-time high, not a bad place to be looking for a potential short. And I know that there is a trend line that you can use because it was very helpful for that other short. Let's see. No, I'm sorry. It's an hourly trend line. It is... I believe it was this. Too far. Sir. Okay, so I'm just watching this channel just because it offered some good thought it was better than that. Offered a good area, a good zone of interest for this potential alt blue sky bull short, right? It's very hard to short blue sky bulls, so you typically want to have some kind of projection tool with you, whether that's just a simple trend line, a channel, a fib projection, TD, whatever, doesn't matter. You need something that kind of projects forward. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we can be top fishing this resistance here up against this channel, and honestly, you probably want to be a bit more conservative with that. Making sure that you have hourly overbought at your side. Something like that. And if the bulls were to come down and test this, I see. There we go. Okay, so if the bulls are to come down and test this channel area here and this base of support in hourly oversold conditions, then I wouldn't be terribly opposed to looking for a long somewhere in here. Ideally, we'll have 5-minute overbought conditions if looking for an hourly pivot, as we are. And so the 5-minute would start getting oversold. Yeah, right around there. So something for everybody for NEO. Help myself. Okie dokie here. NKLA. NKLA. I don't think that one was put up in time, but I do believe there was a previous one based on this zone. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Coming down to test this base that we've marked off just based on price action levels looking left. Get hourly oversold conditions. That's a good place to be scouting for a potential bounce play. And so NKLA hourly trend is very healthy. Hourly higher lows and higher highs. Had this very brief bearish trend change there, but then bulls came back and saved it right away. So on the daily time frame, we are now just scouting this resistance here at 23.35. Bulls are doing their best to try to make their way over it. Hold on a second here. The bulls have the potential to change this weekly trend here. If they can hold this low of 17.59 and break over 27.30, that will be a confirmed weekly trend change, and we'll have that monthly higher low being confidently set then at 16.15. Okay, so right now in the daily time frame, whenever we pull back for some daily consolidation, we will be scouting for a daily higher low over 17.59. On the hourly chart, like we said, is still very healthy. Hourly uptrend still very much intact. And whenever the bears are able to take this trend back, we will be scouting for that daily higher low. So key support tomorrow going into the open is 21.52. If bears are able to wait, hold on a second. Well, actually, no. I have this lower high. Okay, so what we'll need to see is bears set a lower, either break 2073 from here to confirm this lower high and break to lower lows, or set another lower high under 2254 and then, or double top, and then break this support of 2152. So 2152 is really this key level. Bulls need to defend this level to keep this hourly trend healthy and fend off daily consolidation. And then regarding trades, there's a top fish on deck again, right? So today we got rejected from this level, from this daily resistance level, this congestion area in hourly overbought conditions. So that trade is still there. If we can get hourly overbought again into these resistance levels, the top end of where all this congestion was, and the bottom end, I guess, of this congestion here. So basically, if we are able to get into a congestion zone with hourly overbought conditions to suggest exhaustion, not a bad place to be looking short. If the bears are able to change that hourly trend, bulls will be scouting a daily higher low over 1759. WKHS. All right, so WKHS not quite getting into our short zone, although there was a short share there. That trade is likely over. I don't think it hit target yet, but now if you took this short off of here, I forget when that was shared. Goody though. Nope. Okay, Maybe I moved it. I think I moved these two boxes instead of making new ones. Okay, either way, this zone of interest for short is still very much on the table, but we just maybe want to adjust a little bit, right? Again, we want to make sure hourly is overbought, like so. And I can already know I'm still in my zone of interest because I have these yellow lines marked off, right? So I know that they're marked off for a reason. They're just a couple of pivots. This is my zone of interest for a potential short. There's all this congestion here. A couple of tops, bottoms put in, 1, 2. So not a bad place to be looking for a potential short. That being said, the hourly trend is still healthy. We're going sideways into the end of the day. Bears could not confirm this downtrend here, and the bulls set a higher low and now are testing the local highs of 2079. So ideally, bulls will show up tomorrow, print an hourly higher low, or start off a strength, put the hourly higher low, break the higher highs to see some more daily bounce follow through into our zone of interest for potential short. If, however, the bears are able to show up tomorrow, hold this lower high here of 1979 and break to lower lows under 1868 to confirm the hourly downtrend, we will be scouting that daily higher low, anything over... I don't really love any of these little rinky-dink ones. Actually, that's a good pivot. 1, 2, 3 candles. Anything over 1652, we will consider a daily higher low. And finally, NEE. Okay, so NEE, some more sideways, but however, trying to leave this sideways range to the upside. Bulls are happy at least with this basing over the tops of the previous range down here. Nice lower wick at the end of the day. Let's check the hourly time frame. Hourly EQ going, let's see, going on 3 trading days now, 4 trading days. Hourly EQ going on, that doesn't help me. I don't know why I did that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 trading days. Going sideways, trying to break this EQ bullish, but still looking up at key resistance of 78.28. So as long as we're in this hourly EQ, that's all we care about, this EQ. How's it going to break? We don't know, but if you are bullish, you can be positioning off of it. No, I don't think anybody would blame you for looking bullish, although that was a bit of a harsh rejection, so questionable. If we were to play NEE as we like it, then we'd be looking for a trade down here where there was all these bottoms put in hourly overbought conditions, and then potentially this channel coming back into play. So something like that. In the interim for bulls, should this hourly EQ break bearish, or you could be bottom fishing, just bottom fishing the lower end of this area of the EQ. So something like that maybe, for a shorter term trade like into tomorrow. Anticipating for a bullish EQ break, and you just want to take profit before you come up to test the key resistances. Okay, so even though this is like your ultimate target, obviously you want to take some profit off. Not obviously. Ideally, you'll take some profit off here to protect the rest of your position to allow full maturation for the other piece. Okay, so we're just watching this hourly EQ for NEE. That's pretty much it. And then, of course, for shorts, you can be top fishing this resistance here, ideally in hourly overbought condition. So something like that. Again, cautious. If we are to see like electric vehicles and clean energy, or I guess they're different enough, but something like that to a short side in the near term, something like this on the long side to the near term, and then if we break bearish, this EQ bearish, then potentially looking here for the next long. That about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.